King Charles issues warning to Prince Harry, prepared to make final cut with royal roots. According to a close friend of Diana, Princess of Wales, the Duke of Sussex is reportedly facing an unstable 2023 and may experience more upset for the family. Debbie Frank also stated that Prince Harry is determined to become independent from the royal family and may receive a wake-up call from those around him as he works to reinvent himself. For Harry, this is his story at last. With its raw, unflinching honesty, Spare is a landmark publication full of insight, revelation, self-examination, and hard-won wisdom about the eternal power of love over grief. It comes as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are pursuing new lives of personal and financial freedom in the U.S. after quitting royal duties in 2020. Spare, Harry's memoir, is set to be published on January 10th, and has been described by the publisher as being filled with raw, unflinching honesty, causing concern that it may cause further turmoil within Buckingham Palace. Ms. Frank, who is also an astrologer, told Hello magazine, Prince Harry's stars are lining up in a roller coaster formation for him through 2023. The rebel planet Uranus is sitting uncomfortably on the most personal angle of his chart and his moon, signifying further upsets with family, surprise moves and severance with his old life. She continued, Harry's personal world looks far from settled and stable and he's prepared to make the final cut with his roots. His restlessness is hard to contain, triggering a desire to move home and to continually reinvent himself as independent from the royals. As much as he is the one triggering shock waves, he is also receiving a wake-up call from those around him. In this cosmic climate, his life feels electrically charged and full of change. The Duke's memoir will include his reflections on the death of Princess Diana, his mother, who was tragically killed in a car crash in Paris in 1997. Along with other senior members of the royal family, including his brother William and Diana's brother Charles Spencer, Harry participated in the somber procession of Diana's coffin as it was transported to Westminster Abbey for a funeral service that was witnessed globally. Ms. Frank said, Harry has lived through a long period of grief and confusion with clouded perception, and after the first week in January the veil is lifted. According to the astrologer, new opportunities will present themselves to Harry starting in June, following the coronation of his father, King Charles III, on May 6. Allegations have been made that the royal household, represented by Buckingham Palace, spread negative rumors about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex as part of a campaign against Meghan. Jenny Afia, Meghan's lawyer from Shillings, states as footage of the palace is displayed, there was a real kind of war against Meghan, and I've certainly seen evidence that there was negative briefing from the palace against Harry and Meghan to suit other people's agendas. The Duchess's friend Lucy Fraser adds, Meg became this scapegoat for the palace, and so they would feed stories on her whether they were true or not to avoid other less favorable stories being printed. Meghan stated that she felt like she was being fed to the wolves during the beginning of episode 5 of the documentary. Speaking about wanting her son Archie to have a big family in the way she did not, Meghan says, I was just so excited that we were going to be able to create for him that thing that I had always wanted. So I just did everything I could to make them proud and to really be a part of the family. And then the bubble burst. Harry then says, it was already clear to the media that the palace was not going to protect her. Once that happens, then the floodgates open. Meghan replies, I realized that I wasn't just being thrown to the wolves, I was being fed to the wolves. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex stated that the palace was preventing Harry from visiting with his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. In episode 5, Harry said that he and Meghan had planned to travel to the UK for a visit in early 2020 and that the Queen had informed him that she had no plans for the week, inviting them to come over for tea and stay the night. Meghan said, so, we're flying back from Vancouver straight to Heathrow, and right as we're getting on the plane this urgent message comes through to H saying you are not allowed to go and see Her Majesty. Make sure that your principal is aware he cannot go and see her. She's busy, she has plans all week. Harry then tells the camera, I was like, well, that's certainly the opposite to what she had told me. The Duke alleges that his brother, Prince William, yelled at him during a meeting at Sandringham in order to reach a consensus about the Sussexes' plans for the future prior to their departure from royal responsibilities. Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace have not commented on the allegations made by the Duke and Duchess. However, the Windsor family may expect additional controversial disclosures to be made public with the release of Harry's memoir.